Disney. A cornerstone in the entertainment industry and the studio that brought animation to the forefront. A studio that molded many generations and is a brand known the world over. Growing up, Disney was a dominant force in my life. There was always a new Disney movie or show that grabbed my attention, and for the longest time, it seemed Disney could do no wrong. My, how times have changed. Present Disney is a shadow of its former self. Controversy follows in its wake, mistakes have been constantly made, and the creativity and imagination that was the lifeblood of the brand is all but gone. Disney is now a struggling studio, bleeding money in ever increasing amounts, all the while oblivious to everything they are doing wrong. Star Wars is dead, Marvel is dying, and Disney continues to lose respect with every live action remake it farts out.
It'd be funny if it weren't so pathetic. No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.
Watching an industry giant fall so hard in real time is astounding to see. What's even more shocking is that there was an easy out that Disney missed. A literal infinite money glitch Disney could have exploited to the fullest and would have had the entire world eating out of the palm of their hand instead of begging for validation. Well, what is this glitch? I'll get to it, but first we have to understand the context of how Disney got to this point. That way, when we discuss the infinite money glitch, it'll be all the more sad with how badly Disney screwed up. So, how did Disney get here? I think the major cause for Disney's current dilemma was their acquisition of both Star Wars and Marvel, alongside their push with the live action remakes. Shelling out billions and billions of dollars for two of the biggest franchises out there, in theory, was a smart move. Three things: Disney, Marvel, and Star Wars, all of which are really good at making a lot of money between all the movies and shows and merchandise. Having all of that under one umbrella seems like a foolproof plan for success. And for a good while, it was working. The cash flow couldn't be stopped, and Disney was larger than ever. But you know what they say: the bigger they are, the harder they fall. I would place it after Avengers Endgame, as to when the cracks began to form and the mistakes began to be made. 2019 was the year Disney began its decline. This year saw a wave of the now infamous Disney live action remakes, hitting both the theaters and streaming platforms, including Aladdin, The Lion King, and the second Maleficent movie. Yeah, you probably forgot about that one, didn't you? It would only get worse as others followed in their wake, like Mulan, Pinocchio, Peter Pan and Wendy, and The Little Mermaid. I know for a fact I've just triggered a few violent responses just by mentioning these movies and shows. Marvel and Star Wars were also faltering. The ever increasing Marvel shows on Disney Plus began to feel more and more like homework as they continued to pile up. People were getting burnt out. Not to mention the shows coming out were not the greatest. She Hulk! And as for Star Wars, the less we say about the sequel trilogy and the Acolyte, the better. The spark was gone, the souls of these properties were drained, and the audiences were moving on to other movies and shows by other studios. I feel like I need to at least mention the activism that was going on with most of Disney's shows and movies. Needless to say, there was a lot of messaging and virtue signaling going on that, by its very nature, divided audiences and caused unnecessary conflict between the studios and the audience. Those that didn't agree left, while the ones that did agree didn't turn up enough to justify the ever increasing cost for all these movies and shows. This all came to a head with one movie that has pretty much sealed Disney's fate. And ironically enough, it was the one property that put Disney on the map in the first place: Snow White. More specifically, its 2025 live action remake. Everything that Disney was doing wrong fused together to make this abomination of a movie. A ballooning budget, an awful script, an insufferable lead actress, terrible casting choices, horrible press tours and marketing, needless activism, unnecessary live action remake of a beloved classic. The list goes on and on. What once was Disney's most treasured story is now a steaming pile of crap vaguely shaped like a CGI dwarf. After this, how could Disney ever be taken seriously? Their stock continues to plummet, Disney Plus subscriptions continue to diminish, and more money is lost in the process of pushing out more and more crap. This is Disney now, a shell of its former self, a mighty titan in the entertainment industry, now nothing more than a joke. Walt Disney's headless body is rolling in his grave at what has become of his legacy. And based off of the decisions that have been made, this was always inevitable. It shows no signs of stopping and changing for the better. Disney is now doomed to fail. And yet, all this could have been avoided. And one critical change could have been done that would have saved the company's image. So I've teased it already and I've explained the setup enough. What's this infinite money glitch that I've centered this entire video around? Well, let me tell you. What Disney does best is recycle its IPs. This always happened when new forms of media came out. These movies were taken out of the Disney vault. When things such as DVDs were made, before they were put back into the vault, creating a sort of FOMO effect. Now, with streaming, Disney can't really do that anymore. So how does Disney bank on that nostalgia once more? Here's where the infinite money glitch comes in. And it's all because of the live action remakes. Follow me on this, because it's so simple. Just take all the Disney classics that everyone loves and invert their animation style. What do I mean by that? Well, take the 2D movies and make them 3D. Then take the 3D movies and make them 2D. Think about it. Instead of having soulless, emotionless animals in your live-action Lion King movie, you get all the expressive and energetic animation of the original, but it looks updated visually. This is what the live-action remakes had set out to do, but failed miserably at. Mainly because not only has the visual style changed, but the script, the characters, the energy, and pretty much everything else was changed too. This wouldn't happen with how the infinite money glitch works, because there is a second component to this process. Not only do the visuals change for the movie, but the audio, the voice acting, and the music all remain unchanged. Yes, the original audio must remain the same for the glitch to work. By keeping the original audio, Disney can strike deep with the nostalgia and garner so much positive attention with the audience. Let's use Aladdin as an example. The movie is remastered with modern CGI animation, but all the music, voice acting, and other audio elements are exactly the same as the original 2D animated classic. The movie itself would sound just like the original, but now there are new things to look at. Perhaps the action and choreography could change a little to add some new bits to the movie. But because of the original audio, the overall story and pace has to remain the same. However, by using the original audio, all the classic Disney songs are preserved as they were. Songs like A Whole New World would strike a chord with older audiences that grew up with the original. I chose Aladdin as the example because this remaster process allows Disney to do something that would endear itself to audiences everywhere. Pretty much revive deceased actors. How awesome would it be to be in the theater watching the remastered Aladdin and having Robin Williams playing the genie once again? The same with Gilbert Gottfried as Iago. No need to get unethical with AI on this one, since all Disney has to do is use the original audio. This is how the infinite money glitch would work. Now take that process and apply it to every Disney classic in their library. Snow White wouldn't suck ass. The Little Mermaid wouldn't have to race swap. Mulan wouldn't have to film at a Chinese concentration camp. It would just be all the Disney classics that made the company what it was. But now these classics have pretty much a fresh coat of paint on them. How would the audiences react to these? I would almost guarantee they would eat this shit up. Keep in mind, at the very least, the people of my generation, born in about the 1990s or so, were children when Disney's Renaissance began. Movies like Mulan, The Lion King, and Hunchback of Notre Dame were coming out or were out on VHS tapes. Now we're adults, with most of us having kids of our own. To be someone who grew up with Disney, being able to take their own family to the movies to see the classics that they grew up with in new light, all the while their children are experiencing the magic for the first time. It would be a nostalgic experience like no other. And this isn't just one or two people going to see these movies. This could be three, four. Hell, it might be way more depending on the household. And with such a back catalog to work with, Disney could do this for decades, rolling out a remaster piecemeal every year or so to keep the momentum and the hype going, all the while releasing newer movies and more original forms of entertainment, whether it be a new movie or new show, whatever. This also would work for the more modern classics that Disney has made, such as Tangled, Frozen, and Moana. Just transition them to a classic 2D animation style. Apply the same audio as the original, and off to the races you go once again. What's probably the most important aspect of this glitch for Disney is the cost effectiveness to this operation. No longer would Disney have to shell out nearly $500 million for A-list actors, on-scene shooting, labor unions, press tours, catering, and all the other unnecessary BS they've been spending money on. All they would really need to spend money on would be the animators and audio engineers to get the remaster process working. I could see these remasters costing Disney less than, I don't know, $70 million each. Don't quote me on that, I'm not a financial expert. But the turnaround would be astronomical. Between ticket sales, streaming views, and merchandise sales, Disney would be rolling in it. But why stop there with just their classics? Disney has other studios and IPs to pull from now. Imagine every Pixar movie now in 2D animation. Toy Story, A Bug's Life, Finding Nemo, and Wall-E would look so good in a 2D style. Have you ever thought about how awesome the original and prequel trilogies for Star Wars would look like if they were drawn like a cartoon? Just take the animated Clone Wars style and apply it to all 6 movies. I mean, you could even do the same with Pirates of the Caribbean. And don't even get me started on the possibility of an entire animated Marvel Cinematic Universe, or AMCU. All of this, all of this could lead Disney to something big. Each of these remasters could all tie together, with the build-up leading to, wait for it, Kingdom Hearts. Yes, Disney could theoretically launch the Kingdom Hearts cinematic universe with an Avengers level Kingdom Hearts movie that brings many Disney properties together for one big cinematic epic. Unfortunately, that ship has sailed. This lucrative opportunity is gone, and Disney has to suffer the consequences of their idiotic actions. Looking back on all of this just shows how poetically tragic this whole thing is. Disney had such an opportunity to do something incredible and financially beneficial, but this is not the timeline where Disney made that decision. With the number of live action remakes, Star Wars flops, and ever increasing mediocre Marvel films, and more terrible, terrible creative choices, it's unlikely that even the infinite money glitch could dig Disney out of the hole they are in. Audiences have grown tired of what Disney has and is doing. And if the company tried to do the glitch now, audiences would only see it as an attempt to repair their damaged reputation, rather than it being a smart and endearing business move. For now, all we can do is just watch to see what Disney's next move is, and inevitably point and laugh when they idiotically fumble it once more. So, what do you guys think? Would the infinite money glitch have actually worked? What Disney classic would you have liked to see get the remastered treatment? Let me know in the comments below. And with that, I'll see you guys when I see you guys. And as always, toodles.